Hello, teachers, and welcome to the heart of lesson number 4, Psalm 1, Part 1. This is a two-part lesson over the next 2 weeks. We're going to be unpacking Psalm 1, and over the course of this year, we'll be singing the Psalm 1 song and hopefully memorizing Psalm 1 as we go along through the year. So, in this first part of the lesson, we're just going to be focusing in on verses 1 and 2. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. That's where we're going to focus on. I don't know if that's all of verse 2 or not. But um, the next week we'll focus in the rest of the psalm, which is mostly talking about what we should be doing, delighting in the law of the Lord, and being like trees that are planted by streams of water and yielding fruit in its season. So we'll get there next week, but this week is more so focused on the negative side of things. What shouldn't we be doing? Who are the people that we shouldn't be following after or modeling our lives after? So the lesson, like always, will start in the sanctuary. I'm going to be introducing the Psalm 1 song, but I'm also going to be talking about what blessed means. And blessed, whatever. And then from there, they will go to their stations. You'll notice that in both of the content stations, in Joe's class and the Taylor's class, I ask you to quickly go over what blessed means as well. So I'll already talk about it once in the sanctuary, but just remind the students about that when they get to their class. Don't feel the need to explain it all because they will have heard it once already. And then you'll talk about the different wicked, sinful people that we're not supposed to be following after or modeling our lives after. So in the Taylor's class, you'll be in room 4, the first room, the room that you were in last week, and you'll just be talking about the counsel of the wicked and thinking about the advice that we get and the advice that we follow in our lives. So for the youngest kids, it's going to be more so focused on just like what is good advice, what is bad advice. That's going to be more so of a focus. But the older kids, we don't want to focus so much on that part. Obviously, it's going to come up and be a part of it, but rather I'd like to have them start to think about like who are the type of people that we would expect to get good advice from, good godly advice from, and who are the people that we're not going to get good godly advice from. So like more so thinking of like, as I go through life, is this someone who I really want to follow? Are they pointing me towards Jesus, or are they not? Even if they seem like a nice person or they're funny or they're a friend, are they pointing me towards God or not? So that's what you're doing in your class. I have a couple of different activities. The one is the fun walking activity. And just to explain real quick, in the slideshow, you'll see that there's like a empty path picture, and then the next picture will have someone or something show up on the path, and they have to decide if they should keep on walking down the path or if they should stop walking. And then the next picture after that will be a blank page again so they can start walking again because nothing's on the path. And then you'll show something else with something on the path. And then a blank path and then something on the path of back and forth, back and forth. That's why I did that, just so everyone gets to walking again until they decide whether or not they're going to keep walking or not. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. And the activity at the end, if you don't get to it with the older kids, I think that's totally fine. The younger kids, you'll probably have the time to actually get to it. Next class over, room 5, is Joe's class, and you'll be talking about stand in the way of sinners, sit in the seat of scoffers, that part of the verse, so sinners and scoffers, and breaking down what the psalmist means by these people. So you're going to start off, and a lot of the time, especially for the young kids, is going to be spent just thinking about what is sin in general, and the idea that sin is not doing what God doesn't want you to do and veering off of the path that God has set before you. So we're again have that path imagery of, am I walking down a path towards God, or am I walking down a path that goes away from God, that kind of a thing. At the end, the older kids will have a different discussion than the younger kids will. The younger kids, I have a coloring page for them. So if you have extra time at the end, or if they just need to do something different, they can sit in color after the first part of your station. And then at the end of the hall in room 6, somebody, possibly Christy, possibly myself, not sure who, but somebody's going to be doing a review game with the kids, just reviewing the different stuff that we've talked about over the past 3 weeks already. So that should be fun and simple. And then the gym as well. And the gym's going to have a fun red light, green light, red light game, right? Whatever order you put this in. that kind of goes along with this idea of like walking down the path or stopping down the path, but there's more to it. Should be fun, should be good, and help support what's being learned about throughout the entire night. So hopefully that makes sense. Next week we will get to the other part of the psalm, right, and talking about how it is that we are supposed to be living, what we're supposed to be thinking about and following in our lives, so that we can be like these trees that are fruitful and strong, and not a tree that's withering and dead. Yeah, there's a positive note to leave it off on. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on Sunday/Wednesday.